When you're writing a sequel, the repetition of world-building facts and backstory details and a little bit of recap from book one is inevitable. Hi, I'm C. I'm a developmental editor of fiction. I also make novel planning guides and tools for writers, which you can find over here. And as you're getting on drafting that sequel, remember that one of the most important things is that your writing is clear. Part of that clarity is making sure that a reader, whether it's been 2 weeks or 2 years between book one and book two, won't feel entirely and completely lost. Is the onus in part on them to jog their memories before picking up book two? Yeah, sure, but the general idea in a sequel is to help the reader out whenever we can. The first way to do this is with a simple aside. The Catskill Mountains, home of the mother dragon, were obscured that day by a heavy fog. Just, a little reminder about the dragon. The second way is the where are they now? This helps the reader orient themselves because it reminds them when the last time they saw a character was at the end of book one, and then gives them information about what's happened to that character in between books right as they pop up on the page in book two. For example, in the 2 months since the defeat of the wizard, Alice had spent almost all of her free time at the library. Third is the reflection, where the point of view character reminds us of a major story event because something about that story event has stuck with them or changed something. Ever since I watched Henry's death at the hands of the evil witch, I hadn't been able to sleep through the night. A general rule of thumb is to work a subtle little one of these onto the page anytime you introduce a recurring character who is in book one, reference something really important that happened in book one, or reference a continuing world-building backstory or plot element from book one that the reader needs to remember now in order for book two to continue to make sense. It's not easy, and odds are you're going to get the balance a little bit wrong, but friends and critique partners and beta readers should be able to help you out. They'll have experienced a significant gap between reading book one and book two, so their reactions and confusion will be pretty representative of what the average reader will be able to remember between books. But finally, something that I've heard a lot of readers say that they appreciate is a less time in the story, sort of soap opera style synopsis or recap of what happened in book one at the beginning of book two. Not a long one, just a couple of pages, but enough to jog the reader's memory and help them grasp those details again before forging into book two. This doesn't absolve you of the responsibility of making sure that you're adding those little jogging reminders throughout the first few chapters of the sequel. It's just something that you might want to consider including because I've heard that a lot of readers really like it when it shows up in sequels, especially if there's been a publication gap.